Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now are quite a few things, okay? And yes, I am going to be showing you some videos that are extremely important, okay? But this first thing is very, very important, okay? And this has to do with um, J. Okay, so this is a letter that was written, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Dear Acting Attorney General Rosen, Secretary McCarthy, and Acting Secretary Miller." This letter was written on January 2020. Okay. Oh, no, sorry, not 2020. My bad. Hang on. the the lettering is really, really small. 2021. I'm sorry. My bad. So it says, excuse me, as the law enforcement agency charged with protecting residents and visitors throughout the District of Columbia, the Metropolitan Police Department, or MPD, is prepared for this week's First Amendment activities. MPD has coordinated with its federal partners, namely the U.S. Park Police, U.S. Capitol Police, and the U.S. Secret Service, all of whom regularly have uniformed personnel protecting federal assets in the District of Columbia. All of whom regularly, this week, MPD, and remember that's the Metropolitan Police Department, okay, has additionally logistical support of unarmed members of the DC National Guard who will work under the direction of and in coordination with MPD. The District of Columbia government has not requested personnel from any other federal law enforcement agencies. To avoid confusion, we ask that any request for additional assistance be coordinated in the same process and procedures. We are mindful that in 2020, MPD was expected to perform the demanding tasks of policing large crowds while working around unidentifiable personnel deployed in the District of Columbia without proper coordination. Unidentifiable personnel, in many cases armed, cause confusion among residents and visitors and could become a national security threat with no way for MPD and federal law enforcement to decipher armed groups. To be clear, the District of Columbia is not requesting other federal law enforcement personnel and discourages any additional deployment without immediate notification to and consultation with MPD if such plans are underway. The protection of persons and property is our utmost concern and responsibility. MPD is well trained and prepared to lead the law enforcement coordination and response to allow for peaceful demonstration of First Amendment rights in the District of Columbia. And that was signed by, let me see if I can pronounce her name, Muriel Bowser, who's the mayor, Bowser. And CC'd into that email was Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton. So they were well aware, okay? So when they try to act all as if they were surprised, yeah. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware about this, but Iran has shut down their airspace for 9 hours. All flights will be canceled until 6 a.m. tomorrow. Now, this was for October 7th, okay? Monday, October 7th. They announced a temporary shutdown of its airspace from the 6th until the 7th, and all flights from airports across the country will be canceled from 9 p.m. local time on Sunday until 6 a.m. on Monday. So the spokesman for Iran's civil aviation organization stated that the shutdown is a result of operational restrictions that have emerged. Um, so I don't know if this is going to continue, okay? Um, but there's like a rumor mill going around, right? Saying that, they're going to continue on with this. There's going to be more attacks and things of that nature. So maybe this is why they're just taking precautions. I'm not sure. As of the time that I am filming this, okay, it is now October 7th. So I'm trying to get as much filming done as I possibly can because my husband and I are still in preparation mode right now for Hurricane Milton. So if it seems like my videos are a little like off, like, with timing and stuff like that, that is why, okay? But I wanted to bring that to your attention, and the link for this article will be in the description box below, okay?
If you haven't heard, Wyoming's on fire. And what's interesting is the majority of it is on the eastern side of Wyoming. Now, just for reference, the yellow part of this map is federally owned land, and the white part is privately owned. These major fires are all in the privately owned sectors. Now, what does this mean? So a recent discovery claims that there is approximately 2.34 billion metric tons of rare earth minerals near Wheatland, Wyoming, which is on fire. Now, with this supply of rare earth minerals, we would be the leading holder in the entire world. Now, where is Wheatland? Right there in the southeast corner of Wyoming, where the worst of the fires are. Now, this won't be an overnight transition. Many proposals still face months, if not years, before work is final. But the citizens of Wyoming are poised to fight long and hard against these mines. Now, what started these wildfires? So a wet or an area with an abundance of fuels just so happened to get hit by lightning and ignited the fuel. And the state's notoriously strong winds are driving the flames, making it even worse. Sounds kind of like the perfect storm. So I don't know, people, you can put two and two together here. We have a location that could be the leading source of rare earth minerals in a certain part of Wyoming that a lot of people are against mining, and now they're being told to evacuate. I can't say much more, but look into this. I think it will shock you.
Groceries, clothing, electronics, and more. All in one place. We're here to help you get more done in less time at Walmart.
You're kidding me.
If you've had this, but I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And I just, you've been off. Yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my way of cueing you. Like, it's open time.
Yeah. You want me to keep talking about it?
By all means, we can talk about anything. But
don't do it.
yeah,
You think the Diddy thing is big? If you're the type of person and you think the Diddy thing is big, fucking buckle up. Because it's literally every politician, every big ass celebrity, every big actor. It's not just one guy that was off the rails and, oh, we just found out. Are you fucking kidding me? We are about to learn publicly, right, what has actually been happening at the top. And it's fucked up. And a lot of people's consciousness are not going to be able to handle it because it is dark and it is twisted. And I know you might think I'm speaking vaguely, but those who know.
An advisor to President Jimmy Carter by the name of Zbigniew Brzezinski. Zbigniew Brzezinski said, quote, "In earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people than to physically kill 1 million people. But in today's time, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than it is to control. End quote. Global 2000 was authorized under President Jimmy Carter. In Global 2000, which is government policy, you can go ahead and look this up. It specifies how to use food as a weapon and how to use reproductive services as a weapon. If you go back to Dr. Henry Kissinger in 1974, who was the 32nd Secretary of State under President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford, he specified, quote, depopulation should be the highest priority of U.S. foreign policy towards the third world, end quote. They specified that the population is outgrowing our ability to control them. And so at this point, do you think that a government is interested in having people stand up against them, and you think they're not going to do something about it? They know the people are rising up against the evil that they are committing. So what is the goal? The goal is to remove 3 to 4 billion human beings from the planet. That is the point. They have lost control of the masses. People are not stupid anymore. People don't just trust their government anymore. They don't just trust the science, which there's no such thing as the science. Science evolves, changes, and there are different scientists, which means there's no such thing as one science. They are looking, they're studying, they're reading, and they're asking questions. So because of that, this government has made a decision to get rid of those people. And again, it don't matter what color you are. If you choose to stand up against us and you don't fall in line, we have to get rid of you.
So like I said in my previous video about not filing taxes, apparently on the 7th, Monday, it's like a holiday. Everyone's going to go in and they're going to ask to change their W-4. And if you don't know how to do that, you got lines 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. 7, you write in exempt. It's that simple. Turn it in. Because if the government isn't going to do their job and be there for us when we need them, why in the hell should we be there for them to give away half of our paychecks, leaving us with another half that we go and spend and get taxed on that again? So, yeah, it's time to do something to wake them up. And yes, hopefully their heads will pop out of their ass and we can go back to be good Americans and pay a government that treats us like community instead of a commodity. That's what it's all about.
Springfield, Ohio, what is happening is really true. The people that said that we spoke to there, they say they call it a Haitian invasion. Springfield is a town of around 50,000 people. The part of the town that we were in, they are not wealthy people by any means. These people probably just barely get by each and every day trying to survive. We talked to the kids there. They said that their school has been very, very impacted by the Haitian children that are going to school there. We talked to the kids that were in high school. They say about 50% of their classes are full of Haitians. One girl that's 16 years old said that 21-year-old Haitian men attend her high school because they're trying to teach them English. One boy that was in 9th grade, he said his 7th grade period is full with Haitians as it's an English class and they're trying to teach people English. So imagine sending your child to school. You have 21-year-old Haitian men in your high school. It is not fair. It is not fair because these children, like I said, they're in a very poor community. So these Haitians are sent to very poor communities, taking away the education from our American citizens, from our children that are going to school, trying to get the best education they can. But instead of getting that education, they are educating Haitians that have been flown in there with a CPB-1 app. That is why Walt said that they are there legally, because they've been flown in by the Biden-Harris administration with this app. You fill this app out, you wait in a country like Mexico for the approval. Once it is approved, you are put on airplanes and you are brought into America. So Springfield, Ohio, being a very, very poor city, is a perfect place to drop these Haitians. There's also, what we found out, there's a Dole plantation factory there where the Dole Fruit Company, okay? So they employ these Haitians. One gentleman told us that these Haitians get paid between $11, $15 an hour, where an American citizen would be paid a lot more than that. We would also ask for health insurance and retirement, where I guess the Haitians don't ask for that, so they are cheap labor. Also, we learned that rents have went up there. The guy said that rents are around $1,200 to $1,500, which if you live in a big city, that would be very cheap. If you live in Springfield, Ohio, that is very expensive. The kicker is, guess who owns these apartments and these houses that these Haitians are living in? Yep, city leaders. The mayor, he says, owns a lot of the housing units that these Haitians are put up in. It is crazy, you guys, what is going on. It is crazy what our government is allowing to happen. I couldn't really figure out the cat and the dog thing, if those were really being ate, but they did say in their city park, it is usually full of geese and duck. It is summertime. People will say, well, you know, they do migrate. That's maybe why they're not there. But the man and the children and the wives and everyone that was telling us, they say usually that park is full of duck and geese, and you cannot just drive your car down there because you will hit them and kill them. But now, he said, you can drive your car like if you're in a racetrack because the geese and the duck are gone. So you can judge on yourself as to where you think those went. But, yes, it is true. Springfield, Ohio, close to 20,000 Haitians have been dropped there. I'm not bagging on the Haitians, because if I lived in Haiti, I want to get out of there too. It is horrific what is going on in Haiti. I am very, very upset, though, with local leaders, with our federal leaders, that they think that it is such a great idea to bring these Haitians in. It's cheap labor. They're paying them cheaply. It's ruining the Springfield of Ohio children's education, because the Haitians are going to school there, taking away from American children's education. Like I said, these people are not wealthy people. Also, one girl said she wants to get a driver's license. Well, she's 16, cost about $400 to take the driver's education course. She doesn't have $400. She said, I'll probably have to wait till I'm 18 to get my driver's license. But guess who's getting to take those driver's license courses for free? Yes, the Haitians are. Also, the Haitians are driving in Springfield. We do know that one 11-year-old was killed in a bus crash because a Haitian hit a bus carrying a bunch of children. An 11-year-old boy was killed. There's also many accidents. The guy couldn't show us enough